Okay, no, I lied. It was a SqueeVine league that we're playing today. Yeah. After the league I played the other day, I wasn't too happy with it. And I felt like I was missing some main deck removal. So we've added two PyroKs, Pyrokinesis, to the main deck. At the cost of our Mindbreak traps, which I did like, but they're now in the sideboard. Rejigged the sideboard from the last video. I've gone with the traps are there. We've dropped a Fury. Petrified Field in the side, Caracas in the side. There's a Petrified Field in the main deck as well. Two Vigors, and then 6 Dredge cards. I didn't think we needed the 47 Dredge cards post board that we had in the previous video. I think 6 is fine. So this is what we're going to run through a league, and then we'll just see how we do. PyroK, my thinking is it kills Hullbreachers and it kills Orcish Bowmasters before our Bazaar resolves. That's why I've gone with that main deck over Fury. I do prefer Fury if you're expecting more mono white than you are Hullbreachers, but I'm kind of not for the sake of argument here. I just wanted to revisit Pyrokinesis before Eternal Weekend to see where we stand on killing Hullbreachers with the increase in the Underworld Breach deck. Petrified Field main is I found quite good. The 4 subtleties I've been more and more impressed with as we go. So this gives us 6 answers, right, to a Hullbreacher, well, and the Force of Will, so 10 answers to a Hullbreacher main deck. And 2 of those we can use after it's resolved, which I think is cool. After it's resolved, but before our Bazaar is resolved, so instant speed. All very good. Everything else I think pretty normal. We'll get ourselves a match and we'll play some games. Okay, round 1 we're up against Claudia. I've just done a fresh install, so everything's like horrifically sized and crap. So we've won the die roll. We've got a Bazaar, we've got a hollow one, we've got some blue cards. Definitely keeping this. I'm just going to try and... Whoa. How big do I usually have it? I don't know. Okay, so to our main phase, we've got the blue cards, so we definitely discard the powder. And we're going to aim for powder plus the 2 cards we draw. Hopefully that's like a lizard and a Vengevine. It's a lizard and a Squee. Well, we're still going to discard those because the Wasteland's probably quite cracked. The hollow one's obviously cool, and the permission is fantastic. So, pretty easy discards to start with. We're very exposed to a Wasteland here, but at least we've got the pressure to go with it all. No Lurus revealed from the opponent here, and they did keep 7 cards. If they force this, we might get a good idea of what they're playing. Oh, no, they didn't do anything. Cool. So, yeah, I think last year, when Eternal Weekend was rolling around, I was more into Fury's main deck than Pyrokinesis because I was expecting more mono white, and Pyrokinesis can't actually kill a Thalia. This year, mono white's not really playing Thalia. Maybe they've got 1 or 2, not many usually. And Hullbreach is more annoying, right? So we have got a Bazaar gamer here. Let's see what flavour. And I will fight Force of Wills in this spot if we're up against Bazaar. I've got the misstep for their surgical. They're a Dredge gamer. I will fight Force of Wills. I will fight Hollow Ones is what I was trying to say. So we're going to hit them with the old Wasteland here. Depends on what we draw as to whether we're activating Lizard. I guess we do activate Master of Death, Lizard, Bazaar. Yeah, so let's go with those 3 into play. Oh, we've changed the interface, which I'm not a big fan of. Attack for 5, opponent falls to less life points than they have now. They're at 15, and we will Wasteland them. I could have held that Lizard and discarded the Bazaar. The hopes of finding Vengevine future Lizard. An opponent's over it, so that's cool. I like these cards. And I like these cards. I like the Petrified Field, I believe. Everything is so small. So we're bringing in the spot removal, the graveyard hate, the leyline removal, and the Petrified Field. Ooh. And we're going to drop a lot of blue cards, is the idea. Not enough blue cards though, so what does that make me want to do? Does that make me want to not have a petrified field and just not have a petrified field and instead have some forcibles? I don't think so, because they're going to be on wastelands as well. Misstep's cracked. I like the removal. Maybe I don't like the PyroKs quite so much here, and I can have 2 Force of Wills. Or maybe 3 Force of Wills and just 3 Furies. Furies will clean up. 3 Force, 3 Fury. Maybe just 1 random Force of Will just memeing around in our deck. I think 3 and 3 is okay actually. We'll try this. Not perfectly lined up there actually, but we've got a Bazaar, we've got a Surgical, we can kill a Leyline, and we've got an engine piece. So let's keep this. No Leyline for the opponent there. I do have a Bazaar of Baghdad, and we are going to hopefully drop one of our 3 top deck, one of our 3 Force of Wills. I'm going to set a stop on their draw step. I'm not sure when I'm going to go for this Surgical just yet, but so Ichrid, Shambling Shell, Prized Amalgam, Bazaar of Baghdad. So it's just Wasteland. And then they're typically supposed to... Where's that? Why have I got no end step stops? What's happening? Yeah, they're typically supposed to go here. Because they want to play around Force Negation. I want stops everywhere, Magic Online. Give me all the stops. So now we'll Surgical that Bazaar of Baghdad. Because they need to play around Negation. They've got the Noxious. That's fine. It's not fine actually, it's kind of terrifying. So they've got a Noxious on top of their deck. And a Shambling Shell. So that's going to put them a turn behind on the Bazaar of Baghdad there, unless they've got a second one. It also means that they don't have a Dredger for the turn. Everything's in the wrong place. And that lets us try and draw towards another Wasteland, a Ravenous Trap, this sort of nonsense. So now they get to draw Shambling Shell, which is in hand. And this is really just going to slow them down in a lot of ways. We'll activate our Bazaar. We'll discard these 3, I believe. An opponent's going to get another Bazaar now. And then they're going to discard. And then next turn they get to start dredging. So we bought... Yes, we didn't get all of their Bazaars, but we did get to... slow them down by 2 turns, you know. Okay, they activate Bazaar of Baghdad. See if they've improved on dredges on Shambling Shell from this activation. Sickly Shoal, Shambling Shell, Stinkweed Imp, lay down at the void. We can chill on this Force of Vigor for a moment and just see what we want to do. So we're going to pick up 2 Squees. And then that can cast a Fury if we want it to cast a Fury. Or we can pitch the Lizard to the Vigor if we want to do that as well. So some options, and we've still got 4 Ravenous Traps in our deck to find. There's one of them, so that's a pretty perfect draw really. And then Petrified Field is cool, I like that one. So let's go Squee, Master of Death. Maybe just Lizard then. Or maybe Vigor actually. But then I'm doing like Fury Pitch Fury, which I'm not a big fan of. Maybe I discard a Lizard. and cast that. Play a petrified field and pass the turn. Now hopefully opponent goes big on this upkeep activation in response to the Icarid. And it looks like they will. So they're going to dredge, Stinkweed Imp, Creeping Chill, bunch of crap gets dredged. They're going to be on one card in hand after they've resolved this. Icarids, everything, 2 Wastelands and a Strip Mine go away, 2 Chills, and all of that just goes to the bin. And now we've got Fury if we want it. So their graveyard's useless. They've got a draw step. So they'll have 2 cards in hand. They can top deck a hollow one here. That would be kind of annoying. I'd have to find another green card to deal with those cleanly. They found a second Bazaar of Baghdad. Okay. So I might have to find some more stuff to do. A Force of Will, Creeping Chill, Serum Powder. Okay. No attacks with the hollow one, which is obviously just like a misclick or some crap. We pick up some nonsense. And we draw a card for the turn, hoping to find more graveyard hate. That is a Vengevine, which I am a fan of. And that's a lizard. Perfect. So we're going to start Squee, Vengevine, Lizard. We'll cast the lizard. And now we'll Fury, exiling Fury. So we'll bring back our Vengevine. We've got Force of Will, but we're not ever going to use it. And opponent's just conceded the match, actually. We're going to kill the hollow one, attack for 5, wasteland them. They're going to have 1 Bazaar and 1 slow dredge. So just enough there with really 1 resolving piece of interaction, 1.5, and not just bought us a turn, right? So it wasn't the end of the world. Let's go to the next match. Okay, so we're up against Somatrol, who seems to brown me quite a lot, really. And it looks like we're mulliganing low as well, so that's quite exciting. For our opponent, at least. We're going to be on 5 here when this goes back. I think they play mono white, but I can't be sure. And sometimes it's bug, I think. I don't know, I played them a lot. They beat me. They always play decks that I don't like playing against. So. Okay, so we mulligan this, and look how carefully I press the mulligan button. Brilliant work. Mulligan to 4. Mulligan to 3. Okay, so we're just going to find out what they play and then probably die. Mulligan to 2. Mulligan to 1. The cost of doing business. Keep this. All of the non-Bazaar cards go down. And Dredge can build out of this. Squee is really difficult to. You need your opponent to have something completely non-functional for that to work, but our opponent's kept 7 cards. Yeah, our opponent's kept 7, and we are just completely here to get browned on. Mana Crypt, Mox Sapphire, Underground Sea. So it looks like it's going to be that Hullbreacher list. It's like a PO for 2. It's a Narset Path Prevails. Yeah, it's probably going to kill us. But it does look to be the Underworld Breach deck, which is why we've got the PyroKs in here. We do get to pressure this Narset, which isn't the end of the world. And they've revealed a Mox Ruby, which I guess they cast. Okay. Do you have anything to do for a red and 1? A Braid, my guy. So we just take our draw step here. We hit Narset for 1 point of damage. And then that's our opponent's go. So they have a Narset. There's a good chance I'm not supposed to activate at all. I'm just supposed to watch them do stuff. They do trade in the Narset, which is good for us, but also bad for us, because it probably just means they have a Hullbreacher. I don't know. We've got a Soul Ring. 5 cards, right. We are not in a position to play around a Hullbreacher here. So I think we're just going to take our draw step and then activate normally, if that's a possibility, if we survive that long. Demonic Tutor. Alright, I'm going to respond in response to that, I think. Is that true? Is that true? Yeah, I think I will. See if I can pick up some Squees. Does that make sense? Not really. What am I building towards? No, I've got to pick up Squeeze, I think. Let's just activate in response to this. I found one Squee, that's fine. But they're either getting a kill or a Hullbreacher. That's the issue with this position. It would have been better if that was a red Squee, so that we could have, top decked Pyrokinesis and then started to try and build again. But this is all. I don't know. We mulligan to 1. I don't know what you expect. I don't know why I'm blaming you. Right. Opponent DTs slowly. Okay, my computer lagged out. Opponent DT'd and then cast Time Walk. So that's cool. And then they're going to cast Underworld Breach. And they're going to Brain Freeze themselves. And then they're going to cast DT. And then they're going to cast Lotus. And we're going to die. Cool. Cool. I'm going to bring in some of this. I don't know if all of it is correct. Right. This is a lot of cards I've just randomly grabbed from the sideboard. I like the traps. I think I like the surgicals. I think I also like the Ravenous Trap. Just a couple, though, not too many. But then I need to find 9 nonsense cards from elsewhere to play around with. I don't think my Bazaar's going to be under too much duress. I think I'm going to bring in 0 Furies. Chalice is cracked. The subtleties are interesting. They're not great, but they are good. I think I'll come off a subtlety and a negation, maybe, something like this. This looks awful. Come on, Josh. 5 cards to cut from here. Actually, maybe it is that. Because then force negation, a couple of subtleties. Oh, maybe it's just the 2 traps and I try and surgical them. I feel like they can play around surgical really well with just their combo being fairly instant speed, I can never target the Brain Freeze itself. I think I want 2 Ravenous Trap over 2 Surgical. And I've got 2 and a bunch of answers. This could be questionable. Coming off of blue cards in that manner. So let's keep this. This is pretty cool. I'm not expecting them to have Strip Mines or Wastelands or anything like that. That's why I came down on the Revivals. They're probably going to mulligan to Leyline in some shape, manner, or form. By that I mean they're just going to mulligan once. We'll play a Bazaar of Baghdad, and then we'll pass a turn. And then we'll look up their sideboard suite. Okay, opponent's sideboarding suite this is them as well. They've got Sphinx of the Steel Wind in the main deck, which is interesting. They've got Portal, Leyline, 2 Needles, and a Tab. Across their deck, they've got 2 Pyroblasts, and I can see 0 Flusterstorms. Am I making that up? No, yeah, 0 Flusters. So I think we are good to pass to main phase here. So then we can try and bink on a Needle as well or something. Doesn't look like that's going to come up. So let's kill this. We can fight back with force and negation. Don't need to. I will activate end step. I will discard one of these cards. Let's just discard the Wasteland for now. Activation could have been... Maybe I'm supposed to just take an extra card. Let's cast this then. And attack for 1. We like all our cards, so there's no point in activating our Bazaar. I think it was better to actually hold that activation until my turn, take the extra card and activate, because then I was able to see deeper for the Vengevine hit and see a hollow one for the Vengevine hit. Doing it the way I did it, when I'm just asking to definitely hit a lizard. Opponent Mysticals for Ancestral, and then they'll Ancestral at some point. That's an Urza Saga, that's really problematic. There's my Wasteland just chilling in my graveyard there. Loving life. I play a Time Walk, which I think I might negate actually. I don't want that Saga ticking up at all. Hollow one, so activate. I don't know what's more important to me, Hollow one or Wasteland. I imagine Wasteland. I know they're holding Ancestral, but I just don't think I'm allowed to care. Okay, so we get Lizard. We get Hollow one, we get Vengevine. Their Saga ticks up, but we do get in for 5 this turn and more in the future. And let's just see if they've got the Tabernacle, they've got the Tabernacle, and see if we can tempo them out this way. But otherwise, when this Saga resolves, it's going to start making creatures that are big and scary. And when the Saga resolves, they get a Needle, which kills us. So, let's see. Misty Rainforest is not a Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. Underground Sea DT is. This is a Ponder. And then they've got a Needle. So I need to just top deck Wasteland right now. That's a Pyrokinesis. In for 10, opponent falls to 3. Can opponent kill us? Kill us or find Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale is the 2 things that they have to do. They've got Sensei's Divining Top. They'll have a little look. Flooded Strand. So that's no Tabernacle then. Another look. And they can't walk into a land drop because we've exiled their walk. This looks good for us now at this point, now that they've made the land drop. Maybe earlier on I was supposed to discard one of my blue cards. I think, I don't know, playing around restricted sagas is so hard. But then also I'm trying to play around Tabernacle as well, so maybe I'm just supposed to go to 1 piece of permission and 1 tab hate piece. Then also at that point it didn't look like I was presenting much of a clock, so I don't know. You can always look back and wish you'd done something different, but we do squeeze that game out. On the draw I probably want another piece of permission. I might just come off of like a Squee or something. Maybe a Noxious. At that point I'm running quite low on cards. I don't know. Are these Ravenous Traps complete nonsense? Do I just want to be as many blue cards as possible? Probably. If I'm going to complain about Hullbreachers and then sideboard out my subtleties, maybe I'm wrong. So, Bazaar, blue cards, Chalice, Strip Mine. What a start. This could very easily be a lead on Strip Mine game, actually. Opponent does not have a Leyline of the Void, which means they've probably got a quick thing to do. I'm going to misstep the top. That might be bad. Chalice on 0. Bazaar of Baghdad. And we will pass here. Because we want to hold up double interaction. And then I'm going to untap and take my draw step before I activate. Because if I activate here on their end step, right, this is my upkeep now. But if I activate on their end step there, then they fetch twice, they cast Hullbreacher. I fight with all of my cards, and then I have to discard Strip Mine, which I don't like. And I want to maintain the Strip Mine here. So, I will play the Wasteland. And then I will pass the turn to them. Do I want to upkeep? No, I'm still fine with where I'm at, I think. What's that? That's the tap land. Okay, that's the other side of the good card. And then we have a Mindbreak Trap. I'm actually going to activate here, and I think I'm happy to pick a fight here, because they're going to fetch a bunch and try and cast a Hullbreacher. That's a Volcanic Island. And then a Volcanic Island. Okay. And then we will Force of Will. Pitching Mindbreak Trap, I believe. And that just happens, that's cool. Master, Powder will go. We will put their lands into the graveyard. The opponent's got 3 cards. No red mana to deal with at the moment. An Underground Sea. And I'm going to Subtlety that Hullbreacher. And we're going to look for yet another Wasteland next turn. Puts it on top. Cool. This is where a Surgical would be quite cool, but hey ho. We get 2 Squees back and good outs to find something to do. So we get 3 looks at something and lots of discard equity here. Well, that was a disaster. Jesus Christ. Cool. Not great for the home team. Not great for the home team at all. They're just going to sorcery speed this Hullbreacher. That's fine. And then we need to probably top deck a Negation or a Force of Will at this point to stop the Time Twister from hitting us too hard. So a red card at least. It is also a flash blocker at the expense of giving them 2 red mana. They cast Ponder. I really felt like this matchup should be good, but it's getting me a lot at the moment. I don't know. So Ponder And then attack, 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 attack. Oh, so unlucky. Cool. So we're looking for some amount of PyroKs in this spot. That's a Vengevine. Also another way to go about this is just by bringing back Vengevines and giving them some mana. Pithing Needle comes in, so that's going to be a problem as well. And then they DT, and this is going to be a DT for Time Twister. And I can't activate my Bazaar of Baghdad, so I can't flash in my blocker. And then they've got 3 cards in hand. One of them's a Time Twister that we kind of basically know about, and we die. Okay. Never mind. That is a shame. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to be sideboarding. Maybe I'm supposed to have those Furies in my deck. Cool. So we lose, which is annoying. We did mulligan to 1, I think, didn't we, in one of the games? But I feel like... I don't know, I still feel like this matchup should be good. I feel like maybe I'm supposed to sideboard differently. Maybe I'm supposed to just like bring in 2 or 3 Furies and just be like, everything I have just kills a Hullbreacher. Because that's their only like relevant card a lot of the time, isn't it? I don't know. Right. Next game. Okay. Lord of Life game. What is a Bazaar League without some bug, you know? Oh, I hate this hand. Like, yeah, I've got 3 Bazaars, but like, what am I discarding? What am I discarding? I don't know. We'll see. Play Bazaar. Might just actually just let them wasteland this. I don't know. They're gonna be on bug. Yeah, I'm gonna be sad. Paying costs, Gitaxian Probe. Yeah, man, you got it. Vigor's not very interesting. No cards. No Wasteland. Just Upkeep Ancestrals. Okay. Ooh, no Upkeep Ancestrals. Right, we'll go with the activation here, because the Vigor's not going to be very good against bug. But I did... Yeah, so the Vigor's going to go, and the 2 Lizards are going to go. We're going to have Subtlety for nonsense. Maybe I'm supposed to discard the Master and just chill out, I don't know. But... And we'll play a Wasteland. They can't fetch without... Like, if they've got a basic forest, then good on us, you know? And then we can subtlety their threat, wasteland their land, and hopefully they're not on lands. That's a Bayou. Bayou. 1, 2, Psychic Frog. Foil lands as well over there. For that. Say Force of Will us back. With a Force of Will. Okay. How do you ever beat Psychic Frog? I don't know the answer to that. So let's activate Bazaar. Lizard, Negation, Bazaar can all go away. We all wasteland them. Oh, I wastelanded them. I was supposed to... Yes, right. So we're supposed to wasteland in response to the Madness trigger. I'm going to cast this. Because they sometimes play a Daze and they can rescue their blue source. They did not. So let's wasteland them here. And cast a Hollow One. Yeah, I thought about that during their turn and then just never did it, sort of thing. But yeah, Wasteland in response to the Madness trigger rather than the spell means we play our whole turnaround days and they can't pick up their trop. Because the Wasteland's on board, right? So they can see the Wasteland, they can save that, they can no value daze the Lizard. Although it is big value because it brings me off the Wasteland sort of thing. But Frog can't get in. Do I just want to pick up this Wasteland? Maybe. Oh, they can have Bowmasters, which is just like a complete Wrath of God in this spot. I think I'll send the Hollow one in exchange for their whole hand. I think I'm into that. They are not into that. So they're probably, I don't know, you can still cast the Bowmaster, right? So, or do they have a Hullbreacher? Because they're not on a Lurus list, they're just on a regular run-in-the-mill kill you list. I'll activate once. I don't know what to do. Oh. So many Hullbreachers. So many Hullbreachers today. In comes the Frog. The Frog does not go to the sky. I can trade everything for 2 cards in their hand. I think I'll just trade one thing for no cards in their hand. Okay, buddy. Okay. This is pretty tough. Right, I think we go to the next one. We're not getting anywhere. I would like all of the removal this time around. I would like less negations in my deck. I would not like a chalice in my deck. And I will come off of maybe like a red lizard. I'm bringing in a lot of red cards. I need to maintain some sort of blue count. That's how I'm going to justify it. Yeah. We need the Vigors because they have ley lines post board. We need the Petrified Fields because there are 5 Strip Mine plus Blissaju deck. The Furies need to kill every single one of their creatures. The Frogs, the Hullbreachers, the Bowmasters, the Deathrite Shamans. The Subtleties and Force of Wills need to keep all of those cards off the table. And we need the Wastelands for Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. So, truly close to unwinnable. And Mindbreak Track, they're not a multi-spell. They're not a multi-spell deck, really. Obviously, they're a vintage deck. They can enable a trap, but typically, they just need to play. Like, if they just go Deathrite Shaman, Frog, Hullbreacher, right? I can't beat one of those cards. So the Mindbreak Trap doesn't do anything. The negations don't kill any of those. The only thing that negation really hits is going to be a Force of Will targeting a ley line, or targeting a Vigor targeting a ley line, or an Oko Thief of Crowns. But we already have so many problems stacked up on top of that yeah, I think this is how I'm going to go. Okay, game 2, we're on the play again against Lord of Life Gain, and we're going to powder our hand. We're going to keep our hand. we're going to play something. Do we play Bazaar? Do we play Wasteland? No leyline. Okay, we play Bazaar. So, Squee, Lizard, Vigor can probably go at this point, although they could have a Needle, but I can fight a Needle on the stack. Actually, I can just discard the Master, right, and pitch Force of Will to Force of Will. So we'll cast this, and because I don't have a way to get back a Bazaar, I am going to cast my Hollow One. I don't think I'm allowed to fight over the Hollow One though. If they Force of Will here, it means they don't have Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale, which is good for us. But I don't think I'm allowed to fight it because they've got things like Hullbreacher, Bowmaster, Force of Wills of their own to fight the things that kill those cards, sort of thing. I don't think that's a game I can play. Ow, almost fell off my chair. So this is a Deathrite Shaman by the looks of things, which I am just going to let go. And then this Wasteland we're just going to staple onto their Tabernacle, I think, until we find more Wastelands. I think I've got to play like that. They could have Force of Vigor. But I don't know what Force of Vigor really does other than just kill Hollow One. So I don't know if that's very good. I will discard the red Squeeze. Play the Wasteland. And do I want to Wasteland them, actually? Now that I'm here. Now that I've got to this point. No, I don't think I do. I think I need to... Now I will protect over a Force of Vigor sort of thing. But I won't... I still won't fight this Hollow One. So they could be on gaining life to eat my Squeeze. They could be on player land to try and resolve a Hullbreacher. So there's the land. And they're going for like a sorcery speed Hullbreacher, and they're going for a Psychic Frog. Which I'm not big on, because they've got so many cards in hand. So I think this one we fight and we will pitch the Master. So we might be able to get onto a Force of Will next turn as well. Okay, and here comes like a Spell Pierce or something, I guess. Yep, cool. Okay. Okay. And this is where picking up a Fury or a Pyrokinesis is incredibly cracked. Okay. The Squeeze come back. They don't have a Hullbreacher. We've got a Petrified Field. I'm going to activate my Bazaar of Baghdad. We hit a PyroK. So I'm going to go Squee. I'm going to go Squee Vigor. I'm going to attack for 8. Not discarding the 3 Squeeze there really shows off the Fury in my hand. Which is a bit annoying. But, you know, we can't... I don't think we can do anything about that. An opponent is a switched on Magic player. They're going to figure this out, that I'm holding a Fury, or, well, we've got a Pyrokinesis, but it's the same difference, you know. They're going to be able to piece that together, that they either don't block, or they just chump block and don't discard their hand. Or do they settle on me running some elaborate bluff? Like, the Vigor is dead. So maybe this needs to be... Maybe this is like a really good learning point for where we can develop some range of, this card's dead, they know about the Squee. you know, even if this is just another, you know, Force of Will or whatever, maybe sometimes there's a good opportunity to bluff that we've drawn the Fury. Opponent just takes it. So we're going to play our Petrified Field, we're going to cast our Hollow One. So we played around both Daze plus Tab in this spot by playing the Petrified Field first. So we can pay with the field and then Wasteland the Tab. Opponent would need something like Time Walk, Wasteland, Tabernacle. Would get them out of here. Interesting game though. And this is one of the issues with Bug, right, is I don't feel like I'm in a particularly good position. Despite everything I've achieved and everything they haven't achieved, sort of thing. I don't know. So now they can go Wasteland, then they can untap and play Tabernacle, and then I'm down to one Hollow One. They can discard it, dig through time, and take the Hollow One, the Psychic Frog, to the sky. And that's fine by me. Discards a Force of Will to hit me for 3. I wonder if they're trying to line up lethal in some way, manner, or form. It's a Bayou, not a Wasteland, which is pretty key for us. And they're going to be on 3 cards in hand, which means they won't be able to survive the Pyrokinesis. They will have all of my Squees though. They will have all of my Squees, which is concerning. Another thing that's very concerning here is the prospect of a Hullbreacher at this point, so we will not activate accordingly. Yeah, so they're going to eat the Squee, which means they don't have the Hullbreacher online. They can still have a Bowmaster, so I'm going to try not to do anything too reckless in that sense. By nothing too reckless, I am going to send my Lizard at them, because that looks like it's free. They block with a Frog. They take 9. They discard an Oko. To have a 4/5. They go to 2. And we are going to go... So wait, so they've got 2 cards in hand. So I can't actually do anything else, right? So if I go 2 and 2, they can discard their 2 cards and still have a 4/5. That's just not very good. Yes, that's actually really good. So I either get both creatures, or if they're holding like a Bowmaster or a Hullbreacher or something, they've got to discard it to keep the Frog alive. So 4, I need to deal 1 to make it lethal, and then 1 again. And then they can go above, that's fine. And then kill the Deathrite Shaman. So I think this is okay, or I'm stupid. No, I'm stupid. They can just discard 1 card, right? How does this work? No, they have to discard both. Cool. I can pay for Spell Pierce. They discard Lorien Revealed. And they discard the Tabernacle at Pendule Vale. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to activate my Bazaar now because it's free. They've got no cards in hand. I'm going to discard these cards and hold a Bazaar of Baghdad. And now the question is, how hard do we want to lose to a top-decked tab? Do they have a second Tabernacle? So I can Wasteland them, Petrified Field, Wasteland them. They'll have one Bayou in play. I think that sounds good. Wasteland you. Wasteland you. If you top deck a Tabernacle, you top deck a Tabernacle. But your outs are slim at this point. And that requires you to register the second Tabernacle, you know? They can't cast a Vampiric off the top. Not that I think they even play that. Frog gains flying. Frog hits for 6 or 7. And yeah, this completely loses to a top deck Tabernacle unless I can top deck another Wasteland. And we win. Cool. I like the sideboarding. I'm happy where we are. I'm not happy with the matchup. Okay, game 3 against Lord of Lifegain. We've got no Bazaar of Baghdad, so we're going to mulligan. We're going to powder this. I'm going to keep a hollow one, I guess. Maybe I'm supposed to keep a Vengevine. No, hollow one, because that doesn't use the graveyard. We've got Bazaar, we've got Subtlety, got some lizards. They've got a ley line. Cool. That's fine. Bayou, go. Sweet, sweet, sweet. I can still play a Bazaar, and I can dump Serum Powder, Red Lizard, Serum Powder. Keeping the Green Lizard, because that's our Vigor pitch, yeah? So we can get Wastelanded as well, because we've run the second Bazaar, but we might wait a bit before we expose that. I'm not sure. It depends on how, aggro they are into all of this. Underground Sea finds a frog. A frog I probably have to Subtlety to just have the time of day to deal. And I've pitched the Master here so that I can, run the same Gambit next turn. They put the frog on the bottom of their library. That's very interesting to me. So that means Wasteland's probably quite powerful. Or that was the bait and I'm stupid. But I can't beat the bait, So so here it has to be these cards going away. That's kind of a non-negotiable discard, I think. And then we'll attack for 1. We'll deal with their ley line and die to their Hullbreacher. Perfect game. Yeah, I'll go now. So if this eats a Spell Pierce, then we have one more turn to find... They'll have to tap a mana, and we'll have one more turn to find a hollow one, which will present a clock. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. They play a Mox Jet. And they just have Hullbreacher. Okay. Okay then. Can't attack, can't defend. They're going to let the mana go. Our creatures die. Peak bug gaming this is. Squeeze out one very close game and then just get demolished. What's this? This is an Assassin's Trophy on my Bazaar of Baghdad. I can activate in response to that. That's absolutely fine. And I'll discard these cards here. I'll shuffle that hollow one into our deck. And they're going to pass the turn to us. So maybe they don't have Hullbreacher because they're just sorcery speeding that. Let's play a Bazaar. There's the Hullbreacher, so we'll activate again. Wasteland's tragic here, isn't it? So yeah, we'll do this and try and pick up our Squee to use that as the pitch card. They have to pay 1. We discarded Pyrokinesis so that we can trigger the Vengevine and play around Spell Pierce. We've got Tropical Island and a Psychic Frog. The Hullbreacher is going to come in for 3 points. They've got 2 cards in hand, so it's very likely a Force of Will, but we will just untap, pick up Squee, pick up 2 Squees. Cast Fury. This is a Force of Will, we're just dead. It's not a Force of Will, so we get to hit Hullbreacher for 2 and hit Psychic Frog for 2, which is going to eat a card out of their hand as well. They discard another Frog. Okay. Fury will die. They've got 1 card in hand. We can activate here looking for a lizard. Hollow one and a lizard. We'll discard the Bazaar, I guess, because we've got to do the thing. Cast a lizard, bring back a Vengevine. Please and thank you. Attack for 4, which they can't block, otherwise they'll lose their Frog. Show you Wasteland, cast Hollow one. And that's that. This is our board. That's what we're playing with for the rest of the day. They've got 1 card in hand. End stepping the Wasteland activation on the Tabernacle, so they can't play a second Tabernacle. They can grow and start eating my 4 power creatures, which is horrifying. Yeah. Frog to the skies, which is good. I guess they're at a point now as well where maybe they're holding a ley line and they can cast. So they can, if they find their land drop, they can cast a ley line or something like that. That still won't make me come off of activating Wasteland on Tabernacle. I have to. They draw a card. They cast a Deathrite Shaman. And another frog. Good lord. Okay. I believe I have to activate this Tabernacle. It does unlock all their mana, which I'm not fond of. Master of Death comes back. And then we draw a card for the turn. It's a Strip Mine. I'd rather have a Strip Mine, I think. Oh no, Strip Mine doesn't do anything. They've got so much mana. So let's play a Bazaar and flip the Bazaar over. Okay, nothing happened. Can I 8-ball them? Yes, I can. In we go. Opponent just falls to 6, just absolutely takes it there. They can draw so many cards and their creature's going to be so big. And it can gain so much life and eat my engine. In comes the 1/1, because then I can't attack at all. They're going to exile these 3 to jump to guarantee the card. I guess you have to, apparently. Opponent draws a card. And I believe this is just kind of over at this point. They eat my master. They go to 8. They've got the cards to grow and stay alive. We activate Bazaar. Discard Hollow One and Lizard. We will activate Bazaar in case we hit Vengevine and Lizard here. We hit Vengevine. We can top deck a Hollow One for something resembling the game at this point. It's a Lizard. Okay. Do I slay? I guess I do. I guess I do. That's going to eat cards. We're going to push damage. Only like 5, which actually turns into 3 because of the Deathrite Shaman. So we get Verdant out of their hand. Plus another card which seems to be harder to discard. But they have to discard another one, right? And Force of Will. Okay. Maybe I'm supposed to just attack with the Vengevine, actually. And hold the Hollow One. I assume Time Walk is lethal at this point. They can eat my Vengevine. Yeah, I think maybe I'm supposed to just attack with the Vengevine last turn to force the trade with the Psychic Frog. And then I always have a Vengevine coming back. But that's actually the same board state, isn't it? I'm just delaying the points of damage. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this isn't free for the opponent. They still have to thread the needle in some way, shape, or form. But just the 4/5 and the thing that eats my Vengevines is very tough. I'll take 1. My intention here is to tap the Deathrite before I go to combat. Wasteland's one of my Bazaars, sure. Passaggio as well, Trophy as well, anything like that. Just 1, 2, 3, 4 Bazaars have been seen. I've got a Squee, so they could be considering, do I eat Squee or do I eat Vengevine? Endurance, okay, I just die. Jesus wept. How do you win? How do you win? Bluff the gut shot, the grape shot, the gut shot. Yeah. Bring back the thing. They don't have a green mana, so we're safe screw around like this. They can go to 5. They eat forcible to hit me to 8. Oh, hang on. Am I dead? 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay. So they can discard 2 cards, and if one of those is an instant or sorcery, then they can... Oh, they didn't do it. Okay, interesting. Because discard 2... 6. Okay, that's all of their cards, isn't it? Interesting. Do you eat this? Yeah, cool. So then I guess I activate in response. Noxious, noxious. Cool. They're at 5. I've got nothing going on, have I? This is long, drawn out, and difficult, to be honest. It's interesting. So if our opponent's got an instant or sorcery in their hand, we just die to the frog. And that's not going to change that. Well, it's going to kill us slowly. Well, they can kill us now. Maybe I'm supposed to activate there, I don't know. Well, yeah, I probably am. If I'm just dying, then I should probably be looking at more cards, shouldn't I? They probe me. Which doesn't actually change anything. Yeah, they're just going to kill us with the frog now. Okay, I think I'm supposed to activate on that last turn. I don't know what I'm looking for. I can't do anything, can I, with that? That activation wouldn't achieve anything, so I'd be going down to 1 card. Never mind. Classic bug stuff, though. Just 60 creatures I can't beat in a wasteland. Never mind. See you for next round. Okie dokie, round 4, and we're up against Alcatraz here, the fellow London gamer. Well, I think they're out of London, but they come to our vintage events in town, which is pretty cool. They've got a Lurus, usually Esper Lurus, good control gamer. We're on the draw. We're going to keep our 7 with Bazaar, and a Chalice and a Negation as well. So we can substitute a Frog, that sort of nonsense if we want to. I don't think I want to be out there negating pearls. I do want to be silencing my phone. Yeah, I don't think we want to be negating pearls in this matchup. I don't know what they can have. It's going to be like a plow or something like that, but Island Lavinia here would be very annoying. Wasteland, yeah. He gets it. Do we just strip mine them? What have they seen from us? So they get a 5th card to hand. And they see a petrified field. Does that make me want to do anything? I think I want to play a Chalice on 0. This is not insane, but it's still something. How do I want to play this? I think I just want to strip mine them. I think I'm more interested in having a Bazaar of Baghdad available. I'm going to cycle a Lorien. I always forget about this card. I'm supposed to strip mine them upkeep. Or once they've committed their mana or something. That wasn't very good. I guess it doesn't matter, right? Actually. So the powder's going to be a nice easy discard in a minute. This petrified field is cracked. This could be a Bowmaster, which we can bounce. That's another subtlety. Which I'll probably be more interested in keeping. I'll probably be pitching subtlety. Pitching negation subtlety. Oh, force negation. No, what's this? Good grief. Dress down. Yeah, right. That's fine. That doesn't matter. That's not a Bowmaster. So we'll discard Powder, Subtlety, Lizard. And then we've made our land drop this turn. We've got the Petrified Field in hand. And the Hollow One gets through. And then the Dress Down dies. Okay. The Dress Down timing was interesting, but... So they're going to plough our Hollow One. Well, no, they're going to go for the Lavinia. Okay. Well, I've got to fight this. But I can't really fight this going into the future, can I? It's really tough to... I can't get them off of Lavinia next turn. Lavinia on the bottom, okay. I can get them off Lavinia next turn, apparently. So, right, they're going to plough my Hollow One. That's, like, assured. I've got another Hollow One, so let's just start there. But to develop this Hollow One, I probably need to... I was going to say I probably need to come off the Wasteland, but I think I can just... Wasteland your Underground Sea. I don't think I want to deploy this Hollow One just yet. I think I want to try and build up some cards, because both Petrified Field and Hollow One are cracked. So, I know this is slow, but it's... Both my cards are so good, I just didn't really want to activate there. Will continue to be very, very slow, I think. Fire Truck wins. Wasteland OP. So, I'll bring in Caracas. I'll bring in the field. I think I'll bring in the Vigors. And I'll just cut the negations, maybe. So, this kills Frog, this kills Frog, this kind of kills a Frog. Actually, the Pyrokinesis can probably swap out for Furies because of the Bowmasters. The Bowmasters are less brutal than the Hullbreachers we've been trying to deal with so far. I need 3 cuts from here. I don't really like the negations in these Lavinia matchups. Well, not the Lavinia matchups, the Lurrus matchups. And I don't need the Chalice on the draw. Okay. Cool, so... And +1 removal spell and a Caracas for their Lavinia. Just the one Caracas. I've got yet another Bazaar on 7. We will keep this hand. Interesting timing to kill a needle with here. Whether immediate or later. Fuck me. Well, that's kind of horrible. I could have actually gone for the old Stone Rain there. Okay, bro. So what can I ever do now? They've got 2 cards. They've got 2 cards, and I can never resolve a Vengevine into the Soul Guide Lantern. Do I want to continue playing this game? I don't think so. I don't think so. I'll bring the Chalice back in. And I'll cut something. It's like a Squee, I guess. Maybe a Lizard. That was messed up. Like, if it's just one of those two, like, Soul Guide doesn't really do much against us, and then, or like, it does, but we can play into it sort of thing. Or the Vexing Bauble, we can always just, like, keep flipping cards until we find some Vengevines, but the combination of the two is just kind of close to impossible. I'll keep this hand. And then I'll play Bazaar and then cast Chalice on 0. And then probably unlikely to activate unless they try and fight my Chalice. So Bazaar, Chalice on 0. Playing the Bazaar first means we can flip into a blue card for our Force of Will. I feel like I don't want to activate just yet, because I like pitching Force of Vigor, passing Root Wallet to Force of Vigor. So Lizard to Vigor to fight the Wasteland or the Needle. So do I want to activate? Do I want to activate? They can't do anything else this turn, so I will activate, in fact. And I'll come off the Fury. That's fine. I get to make a Lizard. I've got the second Bazaar anyway, so I will just chill out. And they can't do anything else this turn, right? Because I've got the Chalice on 0. So we don't actually need to sweat too much about coming off the Master in that spot. And here I can probably just activate looking for like a hollow one or something. I don't believe I need Force of Will against their 1-drops. Might not be true. Polluted Delta, no fetch. Perfect. I don't believe I needed it, but I do agree that that second activation there was probably kind of suspect. We could have probably waited until their turn. I was looking for a hollow one, but I'm already holding Force of Will green card, you know, I can just chill out. I don't know what to do. So what happens if I come off Vigor? Discarding Caracas, Force of Vigor, Squee. What am I scared of though? Just a frog? I'm going to cast Hollow One. I'm going to attack for 1. Coming off the Caracas is kind of nerve-wracking if they play Lavinia. But if they play Lavinia, we can Noxious our Caracas. And then if that doesn't get through, we can then Force of Will for Lavinia, right? And this is like a Force of Will in some twisted way. If it's a frog, we've just got to force it, I think. Blue blacks, it's just a frog coming in. It's just a Bowmaster coming in. Alright, well I'll fight that anyway. And that got through. I'm going to pick up the Squee. I think I'm going to Wasteland them twice here. So I'm going to upkeep Wasteland you, Noxious back my Wasteland. I've got a Bazaar rolled up. I've got a Squee in hand. So I'm kind of fine with getting tabbed, I think. I think this just puts them so far back that we're chilling. I will activate End Step. They've got a Caracas. Don't needle me, bro. Plow, sure. Plow's fine. Plow is grand. Okay, so I will just mill some cards here. But not the Bazaar, obviously. And then we get the Squee back. We get back onto 3 cards in hand. More Squeeze. Maybe a bit aggro then, actually, if we're suddenly really struggling to do anything. We need them to miss a land drop, right? They've played 1, 2, 3, 4 lands in a row. Lorien revealed. Okay, so they're just getting back into the game really easily. Not ideal. You get an underground sea. They've got 4 cards in hand. I can't activate this one because I think that's just a bit too many cards going away. Another wasteland. Triple Squee and a hollow one. I will activate because I can hit a Vengevine. Lies, I cannot. Bink. Does our man play Daze? That's the big question. Let's Wasteland first. And cast a hollow one. We've been through a lot of our wastelands today, haven't we? Actually, only 2. 2 of 3. And 1 in the board. Or 1 in the powder zone. I think 3 squeeze is enough squeeze to activate twice with, right? Lizard. Another wasteland. Let's have a look. Okay, well. We get a lizard, that's fine, and we've got Fury for the future. Not too fussed about clock at the moment, just fussed about Armageddons. They didn't even see the wasteland, they've scooped it up. Cool, we win. That was cool. Just draw wastelands. They played 1 spell, and yeah, that was it. Cool, see you for round 5. Okay, round 5, I think it's Snez, Powder. And Powder again. Cards go to exile. Bazaar of Baghdad, no interaction. We're on the draw. Cool. Cool. We lose 2 Masters, a Squee, 2 Vengevines. Okie. Island. Oh dear. Oh, it's my least favourite time of day. Oh, okay. Sure. Couldn't have been worse. Could not have been worse. They probed me. Wow. Didn't even need the Hullbreacher, just... These are my Moxons and this is my Twister. This game's so incredibly different on the draw, it's insane. And then we get turn 1 tinkered into a Sphinx and we can't win. That's just a house. Okay, we can still win. Okay, more cards. This time with Bazaars. Still 0 interaction. So probably dead here. Alright, I assume they can piece together a kill from here. Like DT for Vamp, for Breach, for Lotus, for Freeze. Sensei's Divining Top, interesting. Doesn't seem quite so direct. So activates top, POs for a bunch of cards. Draws the top, which is... Picking up the top's interesting, isn't it? Don't you want the top on the top of your deck? I know, you get to replay everything. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. This used to be the sort of nonsense that we would clown upon, and it would be all very easy. That seems to have changed recently. Or at least I'm not winning these games. This is fine though. Like losing turn 1 is losing turn 1. And then they can just can't get a needle. All this jazz, but I don't know why we didn't just win when we cast a DT though. I'm not sure about all the stuff in between. It's like if opponent passes and we just activate and like find a Vengevine or something, very good chance we can. Well, I guess they're going to play Mentor at some point, aren't they? And then that's all different. Storm count is 29 though, and they time walk. I just want to see how I'm dying. I mean, they've shown me the brain freeze. I wouldn't be surprised if when the brain freeze got wheeled away, we were actually there. We go, we're dead. Cool. Yeah. So we need this one. We need this one. I might bring in. What did I do earlier? I brought in traps earlier and then ended up not bringing them in. Yeah, because I think I decided that actually the thing that matters is Hullbreacher, and after that we don't really care. So the 2 Noxious can go. The Petrified Field can go. And then I do want the Furies in my deck, and I do want the Vigors in my deck. Can I come off Wastelands? I mean, we only play like this many Wastelands in Dredge, right? They only have Tabernacle and Saga. No, I don't think so. So for Hullbreacher, we've got these, and these. That's 12 like direct answers to a Hullbreacher. Maybe I can come off with a Squee, a Master, and a Red Lizard, like some sort of really weird trim. Got Bizarre, Negation, Force. Keep this. Get Leylined and die. Oh, no Leyline, that's cool. So let's play a Bizarre of Baghdad and pass the turn. So we don't really want to discard any of the cards on the right. The only one we really want to discard is the Master of Death. So we'll just wait and see what they do. Mana Volt's probably fine, I think. And this just means I can just activate end step, discard some cards. None of them particularly relevant. We'll discard the Noxious Revival instead of the Lizard. We get back the Master of Death. We draw for the turn and we find a Subtlety. I think I want to activate. I find 2 Lizards, which is the Dream. And now I've got 2 pieces of interaction. A Wasteland for Tabernacle, so I'll probably just hold that. Hold that Wasteland in play, so I can't get tabbed and stuff, and then I've just got it all. And then next turn we just pick up our Master of Death and pass the turn and attack for 6 bunch of times. And then, unless something goes terribly wrong, that should be good enough, I believe. So if we get through this next turn, right, we're not going to Wasteland them because we want to just beat Tabernacle at Pendrell Vale. If we get through this turn, we'll go from 2 pieces of interaction to 3 pieces of interaction. They've got a Soul Ring. They've got a Tinker, which I'm going to negate, pitching a Subtlety. And then we can fight back whatever with our Mindbreak Trap. Just got through. Underground Sea. Trap you. And this is more what I'm used to when we play against Tinker decks. So they hit us with the 2 Haymakers, and then we feel great about it all. I still don't want to Wasteland them. I still don't think I'm interested in activating at the moment. So they've got 4 cards in hand. And this is a Narset. Which I'm actually just going to subtlety, I think. I think everything else is going to be too slow. Where's my game log gone? Narset on the bottom, yeah. So it was just like a force of will that didn't cost me my actual force of will. Blooded Strand. Fetches. We've got 2 mana left over. That looks like a walk. Oh, it's a repeal on a lizard. Alright. Pay me. Get to trigger more Vengevines. I've got more cards in hand for my Bazaar. I wasn't sure if I was able to activate. I thought I just had to top deck a thing. More lizards. Let's go now, because any Vengevine's lethal. No, just mono blue cards all the way down. Okay. Where have my cards gone? Where's my pop-up gone? Cool. We win. Do I need any revivals? Just maximum masters. Yeah, because I wasn't too scared of that Narset in general, but it seemed worth keeping off the board. Or maybe that Narset now is scary, but that Narset next turn looks far too slow, sort of thing. But that trap turn we had, or that Tinker turn we had everything covered, which was nice. 2 Mind Breaks leaving is pretty sad. But they'll probably still play around it here. We'll keep this one. Opponent doesn't have a ley line. We've got Force of Vigor as interaction at the moment. And they're fetching. Soaring. This looks like a Hullbreacher, smells like a Hullbreacher, blah blah blah. Time Walk. I'm actually just going to Vigor these 2 now then. And if they've got a Force of Will, then they've got a Force of Will, but they're untapping with, 1 card in hand at that point. So that resolves. They've got 3 cards in hand and a land in play. 3 cards in hand and a land in hand. So they've got Volcanic. And a DT. Okay. That's not great. DT for Lotus. Lotus out Hullbreacher. No, DT for nothing. I guess I need to activate a Bazaar here and can't go around doing that stuff. Let's go 2 Squeeze and a Powder. Hold the Master of Death because it might become a Force of Will card later, especially if they hit us with some hate here. Some Mana Vault. And then they're going to Tinker straight away, which is horrifying. That's a problem. Because we can't beat a Sphinx to the Steel Wind, which is what it's going to be. And then we're going to die. Oh, they've just got a house. Okay. That's so good for us. Vigor you. That's dead. We get 7 more. I've got 3 Squeeze on the go now. That's a Force of Will. Nice. That's a really good one for us. What an insane Tinker. Where's their Sphinx? Hullbreacher. No, thank you. I'll pitch the subtlety, I think. And that just gets through. All the Squeeze come back. I could have just slow rolled that Force of Will actually, and I think I prefer that. Is I have a Fury. Yeah, no, that was really bad actually. I had a Fury. I could have just ignored Hullbreach completely. How many hollow ones do we want to commit? I think 2 seems good. Looted Delta, no plays. Why are the triggered abilities down there? Okay. Feeling good. They have got 4 cards, but they've been through a lot of their best stuff, right? DT, Tinker, Time Walk, Hullbreacher, Wheel of Fortune. They've not got infinite payoffs left at this point. So we'll get in for 8 here. And then we'll activate, and then we'll activate in response to a Hullbreacher and decide whether we want to be fighting it with Force of Will or not. Oh, we've got so many Hullbreachers. Okay. Oh no, they can't have that many Hullbreachers. What's going on? We got Bowmasters as well. Okay. Bowmaster's fine. Bowmaster doesn't do anything. So Bowmaster comes in, hits me. I get some stuff. I'm going to discard Bazaar, Squee. And then say we were to let this Hullbreacher resolve, what would we discard? We would discard Hollow One, Squee, Chalice of the Void. Or I can subtlety this, which seems way better. They've got 2 cards in hand. So we can then subtlety the Hullbreacher. At which point they probably have to put it on the bottom because they're just dying. Yeah. And that means I actually resolve a Bazaar. And they didn't go after my hollow ones. I don't think I care about Chalice. So I'm going to go Vengevine, Subtlety, Chalice of the Void. They hit me with some cards. We cast a hollow one. Vengevine comes into play. They're dead on board. We don't need to Fury. Please don't have Tabernacle. And we win. Well, that was a cool match. That was a cool match. I'm not sure why I'm struggling so much with these lists at the moment. They're usually so good for us, but I'm having a really hard time with the matchups. I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, no. We were overly exposed to Tabernacle at the end there, but at no point since this first Wasteland did we find one. Did we find another waste? Cool enough league though. With we played against Bug, we played against Lurus, played against a couple of Tinker decks, and I think we beat Dredge round 1. I can't really remember. It was actually quite a few hours ago. Yeah, no. So nice little league with Squee. Not sure where I stand on the Pyrokinesis. I like the idea in my mind, especially if we're having this tick up in Hullbreachers. Like, yeah, the tick up in Hullbreachers is concerning. That's why I wanted to try this. I like the subtlety still. And it's interesting the subtleties as well, because like we cast against that last opponent we played, and against Alcatraz earlier. I think we cast 3 subtleties today where the opponent's bottomed from it, whilst I had a Force of Will available maybe. So you've got an interesting bit of play as to which blue card you want to use. Like, Force of Will gets rid of the Hullbreacher completely, right? But if you think that a turn passing makes the Hullbreacher bad, maybe you can get away with Subtlety, which means you're more protected against, the follow-up Tinker or whatever. I like the 6 Graveyard Hate pieces we've got here. I like that. The traps are good out of the board. I think we need to consider this removal suite, though, between Furies and PyroKs. I don't know what the answer is, but I liked the PyroK idea for today. I'm not sure which way around you want to do it, but otherwise I quite like the list as is. Yeah, anyway, rambling nonsense. I will see you guys next time. We're going to play some Dredge at some point soon, because that's probably where we're going to end up for myself. I was going to play Dredge today, but didn't. But anyway, catch you soon.